everyone, so today we're going to look at the Cobalt Violet Hue by Schmincke Horadam. I have done now a few of the episodes, and the previous one has been magenta. So what we're going to do today is the same as here. So we're going to look at the transparency, color disperse, and then we're going to mix the cobalt violet hue with phthalo green, ultramarine fineness, cerulean blue hue, Delft Blue, indigo and Prussian blue. I always begin by telling you what the pigment is. However, usually, for example, if you take this tube, this is where the pigments are stated on the tube, so on the side. But there is nothing here, so it's a blank space. And when I look at the catalog as well, same thing here. The only color that has no pigment number is actually this one right here. And I remember, because this was, I think, a long time ago, I emailed Schmincke about it to inquire what the pigment is, and they sent me back like a report from the laboratory saying what the pigment is, and it still didn't have a number, and I don't remember why. And this has been very long time ago, in fact last year. And I tried to pull the email just now, but it's I can't find it for some reason. So sorry that I can't give you more information than that. If someone from those of you who are watching knows it, then please leave it in the comment below, and that would be great for all of us. So then, if we're going to look at the information on the tube, it's got 4 stars for light fastness. That's 4 out of 5, so that's pretty good. Then we've got a triangle right here, and the triangle states the staining, and the staining level is clear, so that means it's non-staining. Below the triangle there is a square that is also completely clear, which means it's transparent, so completely transparent. And we're going to test that in a mere moment. Okay, so to begin with, let's start by squeezing out the watercolor from the tube and see what the consistency is. So this one behaves quite nicely, and it is not erupting, so it sits quite well in the tube. Let's look at the information that's in the catalog. So it's a new color from 2017 release, so from last year, and you can see straight away on the swatch here that it's a fairly granulating color, and in fact it has a G. So alongside of manganese violet and potass pink, that's the type of granulation that you will get in this watercolor. Also it says soft blue violet, strongly granulating, more bluish than Schmincke Violet. So Schmincke Violet is just above it, and it's supposed to be more bluish and also quite granulating compared to it. So let's have a look. It's a very pretty color, I like it, and I like the fact that it's granulating, so it means that in mixes you can get a lot of interesting textures. So let's go ahead and create this. Now remember, it's a very it's a transparent color, which is claimed by Schmincke, and we'll see how it behaves on paper. So I'm going to start by fairly thick mix, and you see it's this type of purple that is quite light, so it's not a very deep dark purple, and that's the type of purple that I actually like if I had to use purple, because I'm not really a purples person. I don't like in general purple colors in my illustrations, but if I had to, or if I would use a purple, this is the type of purple I would go for. So it's a very gentle, very kind of mild, great for wisteria if you're into floral illustrations. So it's a pretty kind of lilac-y purple, and it seems to be as transparent as promised. so no problems there, but of course we will always look at the finished result. So now I'm going to look at the color disperse, and I'm going to wet an area here and then just dab in the color, the one that we mixed up just earlier. Wow, the color dispersion is very strong here. So if you would paint with another color, wet and wet, and you would add this color, it would be quite dominant, I assume, because it would push the other color quite quickly. So the color dispersion is quite strong and really beautiful. Now let me pull out my big Schmincke palette and we can start the mixing. Okay, so I'm going to do three variety of the strength of the color. So here you can see it goes from darkest to the lightest, or actually from the color that I mix it with to then adding more of the original color and going back to it, seeing what kind of mid-tones we can get from this. So same thing here, I'm going to mix up a nice little paddle over here. Okay, so the watercolors are nice and dry now, and hopefully you can see the beautiful variety you can get, and particularly very interesting here. So I'm just going to zoom in even more, so hopefully you can see exactly what's going on here. So in terms of the granulation, you can see it's beautifully granulating color, and you can even see the granulation in the color disperse as well, right here. Then the two colors that in general they have blended quite nicely. The one color that has kind of separated is the phthalo green, and you can see very beautiful little speckles of the cobalt violet hue right here. It's a very stunning color. Let me just grab my brush so I can point better. And then this one, you can also see an interesting separation, but predominantly it's these two that you can see it better on. Very, very interesting. Then we have the Ultramarine Finest, which again has a little bit of a separation going on right here. So you can see the blue has pushed, the Ultramarine Finest has pushed to the edges, and the cobalt violet hue kind of centralized a little bit there. Again, stunning granulation actually all the way through. The one that I couldn't see much granulation is with this one, Cerulean blue hue, but then again maybe it's just because it's a very strong color and because it's so deep, possibly because of that you can't see much granulation, but definitely there is some, just not as much as in the others. So if you see a comparison like so. And then we have the Delft Blue, which is also very dark. So the darkest two blues that I mixed it with is the Delft Blue and Indigo. And then comparing them side by side, there is quite a bit of similarity. Again, the granulation comes through quite beautifully. And then the Prussian Blue, it's sort of, maybe the actual swatch wasn't great because it's quite watered out at this point, but you get the idea that you also get some beautiful granulation here. So yeah, it's a great color to have, quite pretty on its own, but I find that I would use it a lot with mixing with these blues, just to create different tones and variety of purples and lilacs. Great color to have if you are into floral watercoloring, and yeah, you could get a big variety of nice mixes. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and see you soon.